A day in the life of Mr. Plant. He wakes up in his void and makes himself breakfast. Usually he doesn't have anything on his calendar, and so he gets to read. But not today. Today he has a visitor. Mr. Plant doesn't care much for them, but even introverts need company once in a while.
I got your DNA results back. You're half banana leaf. You know, I'm 1/16 banana, and we go through a lot of struggles. You know, some people think we're like, together. Isn't that crazy?
Mr. Plant fantasized about bashing Argos's head in, watching the blood seep into his shoes and onto. Mr. Plant has been here for a while. He debates the existential existence of life, knowing that tomorrow will be the same. Some days Mr. Plant likes being seen, being watched. But some days he doesn't. Wednesday is Mr. Plant's favorite day of the week, because now he can do what he always wanted to. Watch television.
Please don't kill me. I have a wife and kids.
He likes dark comedies best, but sometimes he gets commercials.
Do you want a star? Well, now you can have one for only $1. What are you waiting for? Come on over.
Mr. Plant hated the Moon Man's fake accent, but the stars looked awfully nice.
Are you here to buy a star? Only $1? With that you can only buy a sad star. Don't you want a happy star? Happy star's only $9.99.
If the Moon Man didn't stop talking soon, Mr. Plant would make him.
You know, you're a terrible person, coming to space with only $1 when you knew they were $9.99. Take it, take your measly little star and get out. And be careful, because the edges are sharp. Wait.
The star is ruined.
Mr. Plant?
As if Mr. Plant's day couldn't get any worse.
Mr. Plant, I saw this on TV and I thought of you.
Maybe Argos isn't so bad all the time.
I was thinking maybe we could go stargazing or...
Mr. Plant returns to the TV. Another successful Wednesday.
Monday with Mr. Plant. Most Mondays Mr. Plant sleeps in, but after Argos gave him a star, he promised he'd help him out at his job. Argos has the most terrifying job ever. Childcare.
They're really sweet. I have to run some errands, so if you could water them and play them their Hopscotch Man audiobook and prune them, that'd be amazing. I'll be back before their parents get here. You'll do great.
Mr. Plant hated children, but he supposed watering was easy enough.
The Hopscotch Man was terrified of all the others.
Maybe they weren't all terrible. On second thought, maybe these brats needed to be taught a lesson.
I'm back, and I brought some food. Flowers? Flowers?
Outside of the void, Mondays are always terrible, so Mr. Plant doesn't count today as a loss. Plus, children weren't so bad when they were quiet.
Thursday with Mr. Plant. This Thursday Mr. Plant is watching television. Argos has a new job.
If you have a Void driver's license, you can go to all sorts of wonderful places, like the beach, or the mall, or the butcher's, all well within your grasp.
Mr. Plant has always wanted to explore the void, and this Thursday he has plans to make it happen.
Are you here for a Void driver's license? Do you have identification? This'll do. You're half banana leaf? Banana leaves can't drive, you're gonna fail. Sit over there until I call your name.
Mr. Plant sat and waited for what felt like an eternity.
Plant, mister. Keep driving slow. I'm gonna need you to make a right turn up here.
Mr. Plant couldn't help but think about the clock's comment from earlier.
I'm gonna need you to make
It
a
filled
right turn
him
up
with a
here.
burning rage. What did this clock know about him and his driving experience?
Turn right!
Well, this time it was an accident. Mr. Plant figured it isn't much of a loss, after all, with a television. You can visit far-off worlds without leaving your void. Plus, now he can keep time. A day in the life of Argos. Argos wakes in his void and does his daily manifestation. He's been here a while. After doing his manifestation, he sits down to observe his shrine.
It's perfectly normal to have a shrine of your best friend, even if that best friend got you fired from your job. My therapist told me so. He's a man of few words.
Argos was fired from his last job, so now he's a mail carrier.
Hello, Void Postal Service. Do you have any mail for me to deliver? Hello, Mr. Plant. I just wanted to tell you that there's no mail for you today. Great talking to you. We'll go stargazing soon.
Argos didn't feel bad about keeping the letter. After all, some things are meant to be. And some things aren't. Sunday with Mr. Plant. It's 3 a.m. and Mr. Plant can't sleep. Mr. Plant doesn't remember leaving the TV on.
Come in. You're my 315.
Sit down, and welcome to Dream Co.
Mr. Plant had no idea if he was asleep or awake.
It seems we have a problem. We've been sending you nightmares all week and haven't gotten so much as one cold sweat. So, we're going to run some tests. Look into that box and I'm going to show you some horrifying creatures and we'll see how you react. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 97, 98, 99, 100. Now don't lose your temper with me, young man. Just because I'm a telly doesn't mean you can be disrespectful.
Mr. Plant was tired of the telly. Time to go home.
Fine, ignore me. Young people these days. Mr. Plant, you punched your TV.
Drat. Sleepwalking again.
If you're wondering what I'm doing here, I was just passing through. Nothing weird.
Mr. Plant debated whether or not to sleep. After all, Sunday is the day of rest, and his calendar was suddenly free. Tuesday with Mr. Plant. Today Mr. Plant has a job interview. After all, he needs money for a new television. This part of the void deals with issues via the phone.
Mr. Plant, I'm ready for you. We'd love to have you, but unfortunately all our call booths are full. We'll call you if there's an opening.
Hey, what are you looking at?
Mr. Plant loves his new job. A soul in need.
Hello? I just wanted to call because I'm all alone. You know, I never thought I'd be alone, but I guess if you have someone to talk to, you're really lucky.
Mr. Plant didn't know what to think. Maybe he was lucky to have someone to talk to.
Can you help me find a friend?
Mr. Plant, you're in my void. I was about to watch television if you wanted to join.
Mr. Plant was happy. It was a very productive day, and nobody got hurt. Well, nobody important. Christmas with Argos. Some things are rarities in the void, like holidays and stars, but after an invite to spend the holiday with Mr. Plant, Argos is suddenly in the festive spirit.
Very Christmassy.
Argos wants to get Mr. Plant a present, but his luck is fading fast.
You're all out? You're the third salesman I've gone to. Mushrooms aren't that much demand? Fine! And a happy holidays to you too. Is that clock for sale?
Argos headed to Mr. Plant's house with the perfect present.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Plant. I got you a new clock. I'm sorry I'm late.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Plant.
It was a very Merry Christmas after all. Saturday with Argos. Argos has many jobs, like carrying mail and babysitting, but one he takes with pride is head of the welcoming committee.
Oh, hello! Welcome to the Void. Why do you have a present on your head? I mean, why hide your head with a present? Now, I'm curious about what might be inside. I know, it's none of my business.
Even while babysitting, Argos couldn't get the present off his mind. What could they be hiding? A telephone, an old boot, a smile.
Hi, Mr. President. I brought you a welcome gift, an ABC book. I'm sorry about this.
With the present knocked out, Argos finally had the chance to figure out what's under the mask. Perhaps it wasn't a mask at all. Argos returns home, unable to forget what he just saw. Luckily, Mr. Plant can help clean up the mess. Valentine's Day with Mr. Plant. Of all the days of the year, Valentine's Day is Mr. Plant's least favorite, and for once the television made everything worse.
Need a gift for this year's Valentine's Day? At the Heart Shop, we have a variety of gifts perfect for your one true love.
Mr. Plant went on a walk to clear his head, but the commercial seemed to follow him.
Need a gift for this year's Valentine's Day?
Unfortunately, Mr. Plant ended up in the last place he wanted to be.
Welcome to the Heart Shop. Are you having a good Valentine's Day?
Unlike Mr. Plant, Argos loved Valentine's Day.
Mr. Plant? Mr. Plant?
Argos returned home. What a terrible Valentine's Day.
Mr. Plant, you're here. I went to look for you at your void. You got me a Valentine. Does this mean we're more than friends? Okay. Okay. I'm gonna put this somewhere for safekeeping, and I'll be right back. Right back.
Mr. Plant hated Valentine's Day, but sometimes you put aside your feelings for people you care about.
Happy Valentine's Day, Mr. Plant.
Plus, this way he got to kill two birds with one stone.